Have you ever wondered if a really powerful AI could just live inside your web browser? Without needing to talk to some giant server farm miles away? Well, today, we're going to break down exactly how that's possible. We'll look at how one developer took a super sophisticated language model, taught it to speak fluent emoji, and then packed the whole thing up to run right on your device.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the big problem that AI is facing right now. Then we'll get into the fun mission that was created to solve it. After that, we'll dive into how the browser brain was actually built, see the magic in action, and finally wrap up with what this all means for the future of AI.
Okay, so let's start with the central challenge. For the longest time, high-performance AI has pretty much been chained to the cloud. It's always needed these huge, expensive server farms to do all the heavy lifting. And that, right there, creates a major bottleneck, which really limits what AI can do and who can even get access to it.
This slide just nails the difference between the two worlds. On the left, you've got the old way. You make a request, it travels to a server with massive GPUs, it costs money, and you've got potential lag and, privacy concerns. But on the right, that's the new frontier. It's AI that runs directly on your device. That means it's instant, it's totally private, and it can even work when you're offline. It's a game changer.
So, to tackle this big challenge, this project set a really fun and relatable goal. Instead of some abstract, complicated task, the mission was to create a personal AI emoji assistant, something anyone could immediately understand and play with.
The goal was simple, but honestly, pretty clever. Take a powerful, pre-trained language model and teach it a very specific, kind of entertaining new skill. How to really understand the feeling of a sentence and then respond with the absolute perfect emojis.
So how did they actually pull this off? Well, getting an AI to run in a browser isn't some single magic trick. It's a really smart three-step process designed to make the model small, smart, and super efficient. The whole journey can be broken down into these three key stages. First, you've got to pick the right AI brain for the job. Then, you teach it its special new skill. And finally, you package it all up so it can live nice and comfortably right inside a web browser. The first and maybe most critical step is picking the right model. You need a brain that's powerful enough to be useful, but also small enough that it won't, completely crash your laptop. For this project, they chose Google's Gemma model, which hits that sweet spot perfectly. This table really shows us why Gemma was the perfect choice. At 270 million parameters, it's compact enough for a personal device. It's still powerful, but not so massive it needs a supercomputer. Plus, it's instruction-tuned, which basically means it's already been trained to follow commands really well, kind of like a helpful assistant. And since it's an open model, any developer can get their hands on it and build cool stuff. It was the ideal candidate for sure. Okay, with the brain chosen, it was time for school. This next step is called fine-tuning, and it's all about teaching the model its new specialized job, becoming an absolute expert in the language of emoji. And this is pretty much how it learns. You show the model thousands of examples just like these, pairing a regular sentence with the perfect emoji response, over and over again until it starts to really get the context, the sentiment, and the subtle art of picking just the right emoji. So the final piece of the puzzle is getting this newly trained model ready for its new home. You can't just drop a giant AI file into a browser and hope for the best. It needs to be specially prepared using a format called ONNX. The best way to think about ONNX is like a universal translator or an adapter for AI models. It takes that complex model, optimizes it, and squishes it down into a compact, efficient package that can run smoothly and quickly right inside a browser's JavaScript environment. It's the secret sauce.
So after all that prep work, the choosing, the training, the packaging, let's finally take a look at the end result. And you might be surprised at just how simple it is to actually use this powerful little tool.
And right here, this is the real magic. This tiny snippet of code is all a developer needs. That pipeline function essentially just loads up the prepackaged emoji model directly into the browser. No server calls, no complex setup. It's incredibly accessible for anyone who wants to use it.
And you can see how well it actually works. It perfectly captures that excited party vibe, the total frustration with bad weather, and that amazing feeling of relief after finishing a tough project. And all of this happens instantly, right on your device.
Now, as much fun as an emoji translator is, this project is really a signpost pointing to a much, much bigger shift in AI. It's showing us a future where artificial intelligence is personal, it's private, and it's incredibly powerful.
This whole on-device approach unlocks 4 huge, game-changing advantages.
First, privacy is huge. Your data never has to leave your device.
Second, you get offline access, so AI tools can work anywhere. Third is speed. Responses are instantaneous, no network delay. And finally, cost. Companies can seriously reduce how much they rely on expensive cloud computing. This just opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
We are truly just scratching the surface of what's possible when AI becomes this accessible. This little emoji project proves the concept is real, and it leaves us with a very exciting question to think about for the future.